All right, our first player here from the offense, Austin Allen. So questions for Austin if you have them. Go ahead and put them in the chat. Put someone on the spot here. There's questions. Sean Callahan.
Hey, Austin, I'm just curious, what was the team's reaction to hear that you guys are going to be playing on a short week out at Rutgers, and how have guys responded this week?
Sorry, I couldn't hear that.
Try and repeat that, Sean. Otherwise,
Oh.
just go ahead.
Austin, what was the team's reaction just hearing that you guys are going to play on a short week at Rutgers, and how have the guys responded having to get back to work so quick with a long road trip ahead?
Yeah, we kind of figured we'd have a game coming up this weekend. We get the opportunity to play Friday, a game earlier. It's a little less time to recover, so to say, but I think we're all excited for another opportunity to compete. A team like Rutgers, somebody who I guess was on their schedule the first time. So we finally get them back on our schedule, and it's going to be nice to go compete. Hopefully we get to see Noah there and reconnect with him a little bit.
Andrew Ward, KLKN.
Yeah, Austin, I was going to ask you about Noah. Just have you had a chance to talk to him at all this season? Have you looked at his numbers, and just what have you seen from him so far? And how excited are you to have the chance to compete against him, hopefully if he gets to play here?
Yeah, I mean, Noah's still one of my best friends. I've played basketball with him since middle school. We've been on the same team, same AAU teams, and we talk every week. I mean, it's not just because he went to another school, it's not like I'm going to just like completely put him off to the side. He's still one of my good friends. We chat football all the time. He's been doing great things at Rutgers. He's been balling out, and that's good for him because he's an athlete. I mean, I think he really I think he deserved in a lot of ways to be an athlete somewhere. We had 3 great quarterbacks here competing for the job. Noah went on to Rutgers, and he's doing great things for them, so it was good to see.
Parker Gabriel, Journal-Star.
Hey, Austin. Scott, after the game, talked about consistency and just needing more of it in general. What goes into developing that, and where do you think you guys as an offense are in the process of trying to develop consistency?
Consistency, I mean, that comes with repetitions. We get a lot during the week, and a week like this, which shortened up, we gotta take a little extra time in the meeting rooms, a little extra time walking through in the afternoons, just walking through the game plan. It takes a little extra time on your free time in a week like this to go over what we need to get accomplished in a short week. But when it comes to consistency in the games, getting yourself mentally in the right place to go, that's where we need to get a little bit better at, I think, leading up to the game.
Brian Christopherson.
Hey, Austin, were you surprised by Saturday's game? Because Scott said you guys practiced really well. I mean, what did you think of just sort of the disconnect between having really good practices and maybe not the performance you wanted?
Yeah, I feel like that happens sometimes. You have a great week of practice, and sometimes things just don't come together on Saturday. I do agree that was one of our best weeks of practice. Coach Frost didn't really have to say anything when it comes to us accomplishing what we need to get done. We sensed it ourselves running through the offense. We could see that I didn't do that block right, and somebody else saw it, and they'd be like, oh, let's run it back. Let's reload that play. You didn't do that right, and we could accomplish it ourselves. And so that allowed Coach Frost to view other things at a different perspective because we could take care of things ourselves. It's just on Saturday, I don't think we accomplished as a team what we needed to accomplish as up to our standards, so to say. And that'll get better as the more we work on it.
Evan Bland, World Herald.
Hey, Austin, you guys are playing, your 7th Big Ten game in as many weeks. You're playing deep into December. I guess, could you describe what's the effect of that weekly grind mentally, physically on you guys as you're finishing out this regular season?
Yeah, it's for sure. you could say it's taxing. It's usually in a normal season you'll have a bye week here and there. Coach Frost made an emphasis after practice to be in the cold tubs, to stretch, to do everything you can to get your bodies right. I know there's a handful of us just now that after practice was doing a little yoga session to get our bodies right, stretch it out. That was my first time ever doing that, and that was I'll be doing that here again soon. But it was a big emphasis after practice to take care of our bodies, because it is week 7, 8. I don't even know what game it is now, but it's deep into the season with no break, so to say. So the emphasis on taking care of our bodies is at an all-time high.
Whose idea was the yoga?
It was actually Travis. Travis got together with the trainer last week, and the trainer walked him through it, and he said, "You need to try this." I mean, it got me right, and I said, "Okay, I've never done it before, but I'll give it a shot." And I did, and my body feels great right now.
Sam McEwen, World Herald.
Hey, Austin. Why do you think you guys have struggled in the second halves of games this season?
I don't know. I mean, I don't know if there's a rhyme or reason. It's football. Sometimes things just don't go your way. I mean, the consistency we need as an entire offense needs to continue through the whole game. We need to execute from play 1 to play 70. It needs to happen through the whole game, and sometimes I think in the second half, just that lapses a little bit, and that's on us as leaders to try and make sure that doesn't happen ever again here at Nebraska.
You've been really insightful and thoughtful over the years just about where the team is in terms of its, mental approach to the game. How do you think in that way, specifically as it relates to you guys win a game, played pretty well at Purdue, and then don't play as well the week after? That happened earlier this season too with Illinois. So in 2 home games that you guys had after wins, you weren't able to follow them up. Why do you think that is, and where do you guys need to get better in that in terms of the mental approach?
Yeah, I think this year it's just a coincidence. We didn't play necessarily as good after a win. I mean, there's a lot of guys that were in the staff 2 years ago. At the end of the season, we won 4 straight games. I mean, it's not necessarily that I think we were just coasting after a win. I think it's just we didn't execute as well as the game after, and that needs to be taken care of as leaders. And I mean, we've seen it happen before. We can win consecutive games in a row. We just need to continue on our execution path.
Thank you.
A couple more quick ones for Austin. Steve Sipple, Journal-Star.
Kind of piggybacking on Sam's question, Austin, how close do you think this offense is to maximizing? How close to fulfilling its potential do you think this offense is right now in Game 8 coming up?
It's almost over repeated how close. I mean, Frost says it, Lubick says it. We're so close. I mean, I'm watching film after these on Sunday morning, and I'm seeing these on my iPad here, and I'm seeing the whole play executed perfectly, and then there's one guy that misses his block, or one guy that runs the wrong way, gets the wrong signal, that like screws up the whole play, and it's just frustrating because we're so close, and it's just like if I could go back and like in the play in that time, just make sure everybody's got the right thing. It's just this offense is built to execute based on 11 guys doing the right job. It can't happen with just 10, but we're so close, and I'm seeing that on film every week, and it's frustrating that we can't get that one guy to get that done, but that's on us as leaders to make sure that doesn't happen in practice, so it carries over into the game, so all 11 are executing at all times.
On the bright side, you did get your first touchdown. What was that play like? What's that feel like? I mean, how much of an achievement do you feel like that is for you?
Yeah, we always joked in the tight end room that I was a little cursed about getting a touchdown. 2 years ago, we ran a trick play, and the ball was underthrown. Last year, we had many opportunities, just didn't get the job done. And last week, I'm tripping over my own feet on a wide open score. And we always said it was cursed a little bit. So once I saw that play call in the red zone and the defensive look, I knew I was probably going to score here, and the curse was going to be broken, so to say. But it was a blessing. I finally got the opportunity to get in the end zone. Hopefully there's many more to come.
We'll finish up, Austin, with Kevin Suits, 10-11.
Austin, with this being the last game, is there an element of you guys in the offensive room just begging your coaches to really unload the playbook and throw a bunch of things maybe that we haven't seen so far this season?
I mean, our offense is pretty unique in itself. Every week we always got stuff we can come to. I don't think necessarily just because it's the last game we're going to throw everything in the book at them. We're going to take care of what we need to take care of as an offense. It's just we got to execute what play is called, and if he gives us something crazy, we're going to go execute it. I don't think that's. I think we're gonna go run our offense, and we're gonna go take care of us, and that's what I think what needs to happen if we want to go win.
All right, thank you, Austin. We will have Ty Robinson next. All right, Ty Robinson will be our next player and is here ready to go. First question, Mitch Sherman, The Athletic.
Hey, Ty. Question for you. I know obviously you're a younger guy on the defense, but I wonder with the older players, with the seniors who have these decisions coming up, do you or some of your teammates, underclassmen, lobby those guys or share your views, what you hope for in the future as those guys make decisions about whether they're going to play another year in this program?
Yeah, I mean, obviously it'd be nice to get them back because, I mean, we're so close to turning this program into a winning program. But at the end of the day, they got to make what's the best decision for themselves. So, I mean, we got to respect that decision. So, I mean, I've been talking to a few guys, and, I mean, just based on what they think could happen. And, I just want what's best for them. So.
Joe Nugent, WWT.
Hey, Ty, curious, where do you think you are today compared to 1 year ago, with playing most of this season and having a lot of reps and being able to benefit from all that?
Yeah, I feel like I've grown tremendously. I mean, last year, I mean, it was just crazy to get in against Wisconsin for my first college game, with the fans all around. I really was just trying to survive. But now the game slowed down for me. I'm able to understand the offense and the defense. I'm just able to do a lot more than I could last year. I'm able to hold my ground and be a playmaker for the defense.
Lincoln Journal-Star, Steve Sipple.
Hi, Ty. I'm interested in, you said that program in your mind is so close to turning the corner. What do you see? What do you see that makes it that way in your mind?
At least from a defense perspective, I mean, just the culture, the way we've been practicing lately. I mean, compared to last year, we're told that we'd be in the top 10 on third down conversions, which has changed tremendously from the first half of the season. I mean, we've been holding guys to 23%, 25%. Just this last week, we held them to 30% on third down conversions. I see that as a big win. And I just see that as just getting better and better. And I see that going on in the next few years. And it's just a big culture thing, too. I feel like the guys are finally getting enough experience to kind of shift where Nebraska needs to go.
How do you think the team is as far as holding up physically and mentally with no breaks?
You know, it's a wacky year with COVID and stuff, but we knew going into it that we wanted to play football. I mean, everybody's still bought in. We're still playing to the best we can, preparing the best we can, and just going from there. I mean, yeah, our bodies are hurt, but it's more of a mental thing, and you just got to be mentally strong to get past that. And then if you truly love the game, then playing football shouldn't be that bad.
Thank you, Ty.
Evan Bland, World Herald.
Yeah, I was going to kind of follow up on Steve's question too, just for you physically as a full-time starter this year, battling Big Ten, blockers week in and week out now. I guess how are you holding up mentally, physically yourself, and what goes into staying sharp for you?
Yeah, luckily I've been blessed this season to not get any serious injuries. I mean, I've had a few nicks and bruises here and there, but big things, just recovery. I mean, every day. I mean, I hardly leave the stadium every day, just getting recovered in the tubs or getting treatment on whatever. And then mentally, I love the game of football. I love to be here. I love to play it. So it doesn't really take that big of an effect on me. I mean, I'm always watching film, and I know a couple other guys are with me as well, watching film and doing the same routine.
Journal Star, Parker Gabriel.
Hey Ty, what is the process like of trying to build yourself and your defensive line group into one that's been consistent? Just sort of whether it's day to day or what is the challenge of level of consistency on a daily and weekly basis?
I feel like since the start of the season to now, I feel like we've been on a pretty good path with that. Just kind of doing what we've been doing, the way Coach Tuioti has been preparing us and making us practice. I feel like that's the best way and that's the best thing for us. I mean, I feel like we've grown, like I said, from the beginning of the season to now. So.
24/7 Sports, Brian Christopherson.
Hey Ty, Coach Tuioti was coming in just when you were. What's it been like? How you've seen him coach your group and kind of mold the nucleus there that's going to be around for a while.
Yeah, Coach Tuioti recruited me when he was at Cal, so I kind of had a pretty good relationship with him already. Coming over here, I was awesome because I didn't have to get to know a new coach. So, and then just the way he coaches, the way he approaches, he really takes time and effort for the little things and the little details, whether it's looking at what their offense does or what their O-line does. And just the way he coaches us, you could truly tell that he cares about each and every one of us with the little things. In practice, if one guy messes up, he'll make him redo it multiple times till he gets it right, that one rep. So he's just really focused and dialed in.
I was going to ask you also what you're seeing out of Nash Hutmacher. I mean, you've been through that first year where you're trying to get the ground under your feet. What's it been like for him?
He's been doing great. Nash he came in big and strong. I think that's just the big thing was just to get him more athletic, and he's really progressed with that. He's beating guys one-on-one in our pass rush every day, beating the centers pretty well. He's able to move his hips pretty well now, so I see a bright future for him here.
And finishing up, Ty, Sean Callahan.
Hey, Ty, I'm curious, when did the team find out you guys were playing Friday, and how did that change kind of the approach immediately for you as far as getting ready for this road trip out to Rutgers?
Yeah, so we kind of figured that we were going to play this week. We just didn't know when and who. We found out yesterday. Found out it was going to be Rutgers at Rutgers. And so we had team meetings and position meetings last night, and then today we had just a normal Tuesday practice. They kind of took it lighter on us, which was really nice. First half practice was normal, and then second half they kind of took us pushed the brakes a little bit, and kind of had more of like a Thursday kind of flow, where it's not really a walkthrough, but just kind of still going through your technique and being mentally focused.
All right, thank you, Ty. We may sneak Casey Rogers in here before Coach Frost, but we'll have one of those two shortly. Thanks. Okay, we will have Casey Rogers here for about 5 minutes before Coach gets here. So let's go to questions for Casey. Sam McEwen, World Herald.
Hey, Casey. From I guess my amateur eye, you're having a pretty good season. What feedback have your coaches given you about how you played this year, and how do you feel like you played?
Yeah, coaches have told me that I've been playing pretty good. I think every game I strive to try to get better and better. One game at a time. If I think I've done pretty good on one thing, then I'll try to master it the next week. And then if I think I'm struggling at something, obviously I'll work on that the week after that. But yeah, no. So far this year it's been great, and we're looking forward to finishing off strong in the next 2 weeks.
If I told you a year ago that you'd be playing at Rutgers at night 1 week before Christmas, what would you have thought of that possibility?
I would have. I'm just as excited now. Actually, we're playing on my dad and I's birthday this Friday, so it would be pretty cool. Unfortunately, with the fans not being able to be there, he won't be able to attend. But going back east is always fun, especially up north. And I'm looking forward to being in that region and playing some of those guys. A lot of those guys at Rutgers are from the area and are from the Northeast, so it'll be cool to go up against them, and it'll be neat. It'll be a cool experience.
Thank you.
Parker Gabriel, Journal-Star.
Hey, Casey, I know you've got your nose down and you're trying to get ready for Rutgers and all that, but we hear Scott talk a lot about how he sees progress in the program, even though your win-loss record isn't where you want it to be. Do you see the same? And I guess how would you describe it to someone who's not, inside your building every day?
Yeah, I 100% see the same thing. And it's tough to really show that when obviously the record is the way it is. But even from the littlest things to having our freshmen, I know Nash Hutmaker from the day he got here to now, it's night and day. And then the D line from where we started to where we're at now. And then even at all the other positions too, with all the young guys and the guys who are here, we're night and day from where we were at the beginning of the year. And obviously it's hard to show that with the way the outside world looks at it. But from an inside perspective, it's we're more together as a team. Practice now compared to last year is night and day as well. It's a lot of guys working harder than they've ever worked before, and it's going to flip. And when that happens, everything that coaches said and everything that we see on the inside, when that's exposed to the outside world, it's going to be a pretty exciting day in Nebraska.
Take two more quick ones for Casey. Coaches here. So Andy Kendi.
Casey, how have you always been a guy that was able to bat down passes, and how important is it? It's not just you, but some of your teammates were doing it as well. And how much of a lift can that give a defense?
Yeah, no. Putting your hands up is something that Coach Teote expresses all the time. If you're getting a pass rush and you might not be able to get to him if the quarterback's going to throw the ball quick, in which we saw on Saturday with the RPOs. The next best thing is to try to get your hands up in the passing lanes. As a young kid in football, I was taught that, so that's something I've kind of carried with me all throughout the years. But it's also something that they coach here too. So, but yeah, we noticed right away that they were throwing the ball pretty quick, and even if we weren't able to get to the quarterback, like I said, the next best thing is at least getting in his eye, getting in his vision, and trying to get in your hands in the passing lane. But it could be a huge thing. I think we saw that. We saw that on Saturday. We got a turnover on downs off of one. So, and then Feldarius got one that was big, and I think I got another one too. So, it could be a game changer, really. But yeah, if you can't get to the quarterback, try to get one down.
Okay, we'll let that finish up with Casey, and we'll move on to Coach here. And in just a second, we will have one additional player after Coach Frost here in a few minutes. Thanks. All right, Coach Frost is here. Go first question, Sean Callahan.
Hey, Coach, I'm just curious, how did you approach the news with a short week to travel out to Rutgers? And what do you tell your guys as far as what's next? I mean, do you anticipate that this is it, or do you have to play it like, you know what, there still could be one more game, we just don't know because there's so many unknowns about what's after week 9 as far as bowl games and things go?
Yeah, we found out about the short week yesterday afternoon, so we brought the guys in for a quick meeting last night, practice this morning. We'll have meetings again tonight. Try to sandwich it in as well as we can with travel. I think all of us in the building are kind of used to taking things on the fly right now because everything's just been up in the air all year. We're not worried about after this week, really. We'll have time to figure all those things out after this game. We just got to get ready for this one.
Parker Gabriel, Journal-Star.
Hey, Scott, when you went back and watched the film from Saturday, what was it in the passing game that I know it's normally more than one thing, but that didn't work, and how do you find more efficiency in that element of the offense?
It was a little thing here and there again, and that keeps plaguing our offense. I said it after the game. I really felt like we were kind of turning a corner because practice has been really sharp for the last 3 weeks, and last week was really sharp. It's just a little thing here and there. We, started the game off so bad by not hitting a simple play. That killed the drive. Had a tipped interception that killed another drive, a bad punt. We didn't protect well enough, and we missed some open guys. We had some guys running open. I think the receivers are doing a lot better job this year of getting to spots and getting there fast and being where they're supposed to be. We got to protect a little better, and we got to make sure we don't miss them.
Do you worry at all about confidence? Adrian had sort of stacked a couple of good weeks on, and then when the efficiency drops, I mean, he's been around the block, he's played a lot. Do you have to talk to him about that, or do you like where he's at, mentally at this point in the season?
Did you say confidence? Yeah. I think that's a little bit with our whole offense, if I'm being honest. The guys need to trust it, believe it, and go make it happen. When you have success, that leads to confidence. Then confidence leads to more success. And that wheel needs to spin a little faster for us right now. Adrian had stacked 2 really good weeks together. He made some really good throws, especially when we gave him time to make those throws. Just some of the downfield things that we schemed up that were there and we didn't hit. A couple times there was a guy standing in his lap and he couldn't follow through. So it's just the continued improvement of consistency and execution.
Ryan Christofferson.
Scott, you've got not only a short week, but early signing day in 48 hours. What's this been like, just this matching those two things, competing on the field and trying to finish off the class, right? Has it been a sprint, or has it felt like you've had a pretty good hold on it?
We're busy. We've been busy since March or April, really. Guys been at this a long time, but we did a good job of getting the majority of the people we want to get signed committed, and feel great about the group that we think we're going to sign on Wednesday with all the other pieces we've added and the overall improvement of talent. This group has a chance to make us even better and make us special. So we'll focus a lot of time this week on 2 different things.
How much do you leave space open maybe in a class, knowing that there's a lot of transfers going on this year across the country and all that? Is that something you think about with the numbers game?
Definitely. We factor that in. And we're starting to get the feeling inside the locker room and on the field and within the team that we want, without dissenters and without guys not being 100% bought in and all in. And so you got to be careful about who you bring in and add to that as it's getting close to where we want it to be. But there, that I don't know. Somebody told me that over 10 days last week there'd been 120 or something guys go into the portal. Well, there's not going to be spots for all those guys, so we'll probably, like we always do, keep a couple spots in our back pocket, and if we find the right guy, we might think about it. Otherwise, there's walk-ons on this team that deserve to be on scholarship as well.
Thank you.
Karen, you, Jake Bartecki.
Hey, Coach, like last week, you've said a lot in the past that you guys have had solid weeks of practice or your best week of practice. And I'm curious if you know of like a reason for the disconnect between a really solid, like a Tuesday or a Wednesday practice and the result on Saturday game day.
No, the improvement of practice this year led to better play. That we played better, executed better at Iowa, played better, executed better at Purdue. Maybe, Jake, the way we started the game, when we're not a team confident enough yet when we start the game, the way we started it, sometimes guys can maybe just look around and wait for somebody else to fix it or think, here we go again, mistakes. That being said, after our first quarter, we ended the first quarter second, we turned it on and scored on 2 straight drives and executed well. It's just one little thing here and one little thing there, and it's got to be more consistent. A lot of it Saturday was some of the young players. I called a lot of those guys last night. For young guys in the Big Ten, I think some of those guys are doing an exceptional job, but it's just not consistent enough yet, and that's what killed us Saturday.
Thank you, Coach.
Sam McEwen.
Hey, Scott. Why do you guys feel like you've had problems on offense in the second half compared to the first half? So the first halves have been better from a scoring perspective and from a yardage perspective than the second halves. Why?
I don't know the answer to that really, Sam. We're diving into that too. I don't remember that being an issue until this year. We've done actually pretty well on first drives the second half, and then things sputter. So, I don't think it's a conditioning thing. I think our guys are in shape. I don't think it's a strength thing. Our focus has gotten better. I went back and watched the Northwestern game. We just made mistakes in the second half. Had the ball on their 3 and didn't execute right and threw an interception on 2 different drives down there. And I think it's kind of just a little more of the same, just being able to focus, concentrate, do your job, and execute for 4 quarters.
Sometimes the thing we'll hear a lot from fans as well, halftime is about coaching adjustments and second halves are about that. Do you agree with that, or is there something else that goes into second halves of games that maybe we overlook or fans or whomever?
There's something to that, absolutely. A lot of times some of the adjustments that we'd make at halftime we probably already made in the first half if we're getting something different in the game than what we expected. Those things happen between series too. Like I said, I think we've done pretty well on first drives coming out of the break with some of the adjustments we've made. All that being said, what a team's doing is usually what they do the whole game. Some of it is probably adjustments, but I think a lot of it's just, like I said, consistency and making sure we can play 60 minutes of guys getting their jobs done.
Thank you.
Steve Sipple.
Hey, Scott, as far as what's holding back the offense goes, it seems like you're patient. How much is your patience being tested right now?
It's being tested. Nobody's more anxious than me. The kids are too. The kids want to get this done. We lost one game this year, and I had several young kids come into my office after the game when I was in there watching it and make sure I was okay. We got a lot of guys that are dying to get this thing right. The coaching staff is. I am. I talked about progress after the game. That's obvious to us in the building, but that doesn't matter because it's got to turn into wins, and everybody's anxious for that to happen. I think we've caught up on strength conditioning, and we're not getting pushed around like we did year one. I think the defense has played well enough in almost every game this year for us to win. The attitudes are better. The kids caring about one another is better. The overall talent's better. Just a lot of it's young. So we see the progress, but I can talk about that all I want until me and the coaching staff and the kids get it turned. The progress, it matters, but the results have to come.
Sort of a nuts and bolts question about the quarterbacks. Are you still kind of splitting reps with Adrian and Luke, or is it swung more towards Adrian now?
It's been split reps. Last week, Adrian missed a practice with his shoulder. So Luke got a lot that day, and we made up for that a little the following day with Adrian.
Okay, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Mitch Sherman, Athletic.
Scott, I know you'll get more into this on Wednesday, but something for the lead up to the signing period opening. Can you touch on the significance this year when you weren't able to travel or bring kids to campus, the importance of having good players to recruit who knew your program, that lived within a relatively short distance of Lincoln in this 21 class?
Yeah, I think that's been important. This class is potentially going to be a lot more regional than some other classes that we've had. We're farther away from a lot of talent than a lot of schools. I think our average kid probably comes from about as far away as anywhere in the country. We're lucky that there's been some really good talent last couple years in Nebraska and locally and in the region. And those kids need to be the heart and soul of what we're building here.
Kevin Suits.
Hey, Scott, what's it going to be like coaching against Noah Vedral? And do you have to maybe change some calls the way you send a play in just because he's so familiar with you and your offense?
Yeah, we've discussed that a lot. We're gonna try to make sure that we defend against anything like that as much as we can. I care a lot about Noah, and he did a lot for us and put a lot of effort into working for us, and I want what's best for him. But we'll try to protect ourselves on Saturday or Friday.
Have you followed his season at all this season, Scott, from afar? And what have you seen out of him as a first-year quarterback there at Rutgers?
Yeah, I've been able to watch a little because we've had common opponents, and I've gotten to watch a couple games. And looks like the player that we thought he was when we recruited him, and knew he was when he's here.
Parker Gabriel.
Scott, I know you haven't had production-wise the year that you want offensively, but to your eye, what level has Brendan Hymas played at this year, just over the course of the season?
Yeah, Jaime's been really solid for us. He's a good player. I think he has a good future in football, and he's been an important piece.
Andy Kendi, KUTV.
Hey, Scott, you mentioned that Adrian missed some time last week because he was rehabbing. How much of that do you think carried over in some of the throws he missed Saturday?
I don't know. I don't want to make excuses for us or me or him or anybody else. When things are there, we gotta do a good job as a coaching staff and quarterback and the entire team. He did come back later last week and threw it great all week. I mean, we were hitting everything in practice, and just 3 or 4 throws that would have made a big difference if we'd have hit them, and we didn't. And that can happen in any game, and we got to make sure that there's not a D lineman in his lap when he's trying to make those throws and some of those things too. But I got a lot of confidence in those guys, and we'll keep working with them because we need to be able to hit those things.
2 or 3 more quick ones. Sam McEwen.
I have a couple. The first is brief. Why hasn't McCaffrey played more in some other position? You've long said he's one of your best athletes. Why hasn't he played somewhere else to help you guys out in the last couple games?
Because he had to take a lot of reps at quarterback, Sam. Our plan was to play him more in the Purdue game, and Adrian got hot. And then in that last game, our plan was to play him more. He'll play some there this week too.
So was it just an issue of you want to play him more at quarterback and circumstances just haven't dictated as much? Is that kind of the long and short of it?
Yeah, that's part of it. And, every rep we give him at running back or somewhere else, we're taking away from other guys that are trying to get ready at that position too. So, in certain games there's been packages for him where we're going to run certain plays with him. And that just gets a little heavy when you have a lot of packages with Wandale at running back or Wandale at receiver and Luke here and Luke there, and that slows down our rhythm a little bit too. We're going to be a better team when we can largely keep the same guys on the field and just call everything that we have.
One other one is, which is more frustrating for you right now, receiver or running back, in terms of getting guys healthy, keeping guys engaged in practice, and getting them up to speed with the plan? Because it seems like you're having to roll a lot of guys at both positions, especially running back.
Yeah, it's been getting them up to speed. That's been, if I've been frustrated with anything, and I've talked about that some, but a lot of the receivers that are starting to make us a better team just missed time, and it wasn't their fault. To me, if you look at this season, the teams that are exceeding expectations are the veteran teams that, and that makes sense. I mean, teams didn't have spring ball, they didn't have fall camp, they weren't around coaches all summer. A lot of our receivers and running backs have been on the sideline for health issues and other things, and just their development has been slower than I want it to be. We got the talent in the program right now that I think can win and win a lot in this league. We got to get them refined, and I agree with you. Just kind of the musical chairs of who's playing this week and who's playing this week, and not being able to stack reps on reps with the same key guys has kind of slowed down our progress a little bit.
Thank you.
Evan Bland, World Herald.
Hey, Scott, I just wanted to ask about kind of the grind you guys are finishing up in the Big Ten. I know a lot of the players said today how they've kind of tried to maintain physically through this thing. What do you think the effects have been, mentally or physically, as these games have stacked up? And how do you guys as coaches at this point in the season kind of guard against, that becoming a bad thing?
You can see the light at the end of the tunnel now. Usually that happens in, week 8 or 9 of a season. We're close to the end now, so the kids just need to have a final push and kick here. It's been a long year in a lot of ways for everybody, not just here. A lot of uncertainty. That I'm sure this is the case everywhere. The kids that I see really kind of struggling to keep the same health and vitality are the young guys, and you usually have freshmen hit a wall at some point. But those guys went out to practice today and gave us everything they got, and we'll do everything we can to get them fresh and ready to go for this last one.
Last one for Coach Steve Sipple.
Hey, Coach, I don't think anybody's asked you about what your initial impressions of Rutgers' defense is. They look active up front, particularly. What do you see? Really active, do a lot of things, tackle well, play really hard. They're well coached. They're really veteran too, Sip. You look at the number of upperclassmen and seniors that are playing for them, and they've been together and around each other a lot. But I think this coaching staff's come in and made them better. And as you watch their season, they've gotten better and better each week. So definitely going to be a big challenge for our offense, especially coming off a game where we didn't play up to our standards. And one quick one. I know Logan Smothers is in the background at this point in his career, but what do you see from him so far that's particularly encouraging? Logan's a good player. He has a little bit of work to do still, but what I really like about him is his ability to see the field and make decisions. He makes really quick, decisive decisions, gets the ball out of his hand, and is a really good athlete. So really one of the key things for quarterbacks in this system, that if they're going to excel, is being able to kind of think fast and be one step ahead of the game, and I definitely see that trait from him. Great. Thank you.
All right, thanks, Coach. We'll have Coach again on Wednesday to talk on signing day, and we will finish up today with one more player. Thanks. All right, thanks for waiting. We'll finish up today with Garrett Nelson. I'm going to go to Evan Bland, World Herald.
Hey, Garrett. I was just curious, what do you think it might be like defending against Noah Vedral this week? And how does having that level of familiarity with a quarterback maybe affect how you guys prepare this week?
It doesn't really at all. I mean, it's just like practice last year. I mean, you go against high-level quarterbacks like we do in practice. I mean, it's gonna be fun to poke fun of him once in a while. You know, if he does play and hit him or get him on the ground or get a sack or something. I mean, it's always, you know, it's competition. So you want to knock his helmet off during the game, but after the game, I mean, it's all love. We love him to death. So I'm glad he's doing well. But it'll be fun. It'll be interesting. Just like any other week playing against another quarterback.
What's your scout of him, having seen him so often in practice?
Oh, I mean, it's a little trippy, but it'll be, like I said, it'll be fun. I mean, we're preparing just like any other week and preparing to get after him and, you know, get him to third downs and see if we can't get him on the ground.
Andrew Ward, KLKN.
Hey, Gary, before I get to my question, it's hard to see in the Zoom. Are you missing a tooth right there?
Yeah, I'm missing 2 teeth.
Is that from the game on Saturday?
That was from Penn State, actually.
Okay, how did that happen?
I've been playing. I don't know what play. I can't remember when it was, but I was tackle put a shoulder in my, or a tight end put a shoulder in my jaw and broke my 2 teeth out. So I've been missing out for a while. Putting some straws in there once in a while is pretty fun.
Step aside, hockey players. Hey, a lot of questions. Just a lot of your guys or your teammates were answering questions about how close you guys are in this program as a whole. Do you see that as well? You've talked about this before. How do you see that?
Yeah, I don't know if I should even say this, but I mean, I'm not. I'm human just like everybody else, and I read all the Twitter comments and all that stuff, and seeing what people say about us and about our coaches and about our team, and I think they're crazy. I think it's very apparent how much better we are as a team and as a defense, as players, as people. We are with the staff and with what we're doing in practice every day, especially these last 3 or 4 weeks, figuring out how to become a team, how to be a good defense, how to be a great defense. We're very close, like my teammate said. I think people are crazy if they think otherwise. We're very close to even being an elite defense. We're playing really solid right now, even as a team. But like I said, we're at the tipping point. We need more detail-oriented, just pushing it to the next level. How can we get better? How can we get better? We're getting better and better. How do we push it and keep pushing the envelope so we don't get complacent I think is the next thing. Like my team would say, we're really close. I'm really excited to keep pushing the envelope.
Parker Gabriel, Journal-Star.
Hey, Garrett, what's made the difference the last 3 weeks on third down? Because you guys were statistically one of the worst units in the country on that down early in the season, and the switch has completely flipped the last 3 weeks.
It's insane to me. It kind of amazes me every day at this level of football how much details and little things do matter. You arm over sooner, you tackle a guy and for 2 yards instead of 4, and now it's it's 2nd and 8 instead of a 2nd and 6, and getting a yard back or 2 yards back and forcing them into a 3rd and 6 or 8 is a completely different game than 3rd and 3 or 4. Being better with those details and knowing how we fit and being more aggressive and just kind of understanding our defense better and honing those little details down has been a major component to that, and getting teams into 3rd and 8s or 3rd and 6s and longs and things like that. getting better in practice and making sure that third downs are money down, and that's where teams and that's where defenses rise to the next level, is getting teams off the field. So honing in on those things and getting teams into third and long situations where there's a good chance we get off the field has been a big component.
Back to Evan Bland for a question.
Garrett, when you're finishing up a Big Ten grind like this, 7 games in 7 weeks against the Big Ten, and you're mentally tired, maybe you're missing teeth, whatever it is, how do you I guess stay sharp, stay motivated? How have you, I guess, pushed through this to get to this point? What's the motivation now?
The older I get, the more I realize it's not really the situation you're in, it's the people you're with. It doesn't matter what I go through with these guys. It doesn't matter what happens. I know that I can rely on them to show up every day with the mentality the same as me, wanting to get better, wanting to improve what we've done, loving each other, making sure we're all right. I mean, it amazes me, and it's incredible to see how great of guys we have on this team to make sure everybody is okay. Make sure everybody is like, hey, you're doing all right. We got to get going at practice. Like checking everybody and holding everybody accountable to stay mentally locked in and be ready to, go attack meetings, go attack practice, go bring meetings to, keeping everything organized and keep your mental focus in the stadium than, somewhere outside or thinking about some other things or, man, I'm tired, man. Everybody's tired. So nobody feels bad for you. We gotta stay locked in, and it's awesome to have teammates to do that for you. How much they love you.
Steve Sipple, Journal Star.
Garrett, why do you think that part has gotten so much better in the last year? I mean, why do you think that is?
The camaraderie part?
Yeah, buy-in, camaraderie, those sorts of things.
It's kind of been magical to watch how the mental mindset of guys have changed, the belief in what we're doing and what they're seeing, how we're playing. It's having that belief and looking around and looking at the guys and be like, I mean, football, Coach Dawson, we had a meeting after practice on the field, and it stuck with me. Football is special in the sense of these are the guys that you're going to be, talking to your kids about for 40 years. I mean, there's no other sport like it. You look, you're going to remember the Simon Odys, you're going to tell people, you're going to tell everybody about them, and football is special like that. And realizing that these are the guys that you're going to have, and these are the dudes that are going to have your back no matter what, having that mindset and having that belief, you start to be around each other more. You start to care about each other more. You play with each other. You love the energy. You love the excitement. And living in that kind of shifted the mindset in this whole year of being with each other constantly, especially through all this weird year, these trying times. The love for one another definitely where it was expressed, and it has been and will continue to be expressed for a very long time, especially during this year. And it's been awesome to be around all these guys during the year. And I don't know what it was, but I think it was just the belief and the mindset that these guys had every day in the shift.
Sort of shifting gears, did Minnesota, Garrett, surprise you at all? I mean, considering they were down 33 guys, did they catch you by surprise at all with how efficient they were?
No, I mean, we knew they were one of the best, if not the best, rushing offense in the Big Ten, and probably top whatever in the country. We knew that going in, and besides, I think it was 3 runs. I think we did really well. I held them. Besides those 3 extra runs that they broke out, I think we held them under 100-some yards. So, like I said, those details that we hone on every week do matter. They obviously get brought up in these games like these big games. I mean, a Big Ten opponent's a Big Ten opponent. We're one of the best conferences in the country, so you can't just breeze by everybody, and we know that, and we tell each other that every day, every week, and we knew that going in.
Okay, thank you.
Yep.
2 more quick ones for Garrett. Mitch Sherman, The Athletic.
Hey, Garrett, I asked Ty Robinson about this. Would like your opinion too on potentially playing another year with these guys on defense, these seniors. Have you gone to any of those guys and expressed that you'd like 12, 13 more games with them?
They all know it. I don't have to tell them. They feel that like I said, the love that we have for them and the appreciation we have for them, and they know how good we are now and how good we can be if they stick around for another year. And if the time's right with different guys expressing that, but I know that every single one of them feel how much they mean to us and how much we would love them to have them back. Coaches expressed it. I think we've all expressed it in our own way, but they definitely have the vibe of what we want as players.
How do you view it yourself? I mean, do you look at this like, I got 3 years left after this season? Or, I mean, are you like, hey, I'm a typical junior next year? I'm just curious for an underclassman, like how you view this this eligibility freeze.
I'm just playing football. I don't know. I'm just going, I mean, yeah, no, I mean, I'm just happy to be here, man, playing football, having fun, trying to make as much as possible every game, every week, every practice. So haven't really thought about it.
Finish up, Garrett, with Andy Kendi.
Garrett, have you thought about your play this season? How would you assess your play on the field, and how much progress have you made in your mind since last season?
Yeah. Compared to last year, as a player, I feel like I've improved a ton. I'm nowhere near where I want to be as a player and as a person, but I've definitely improved, and I believe it shows on the film and on the game on Saturday or Friday or whenever we're playing. A lot of credit goes to the Coach Dawson and Coach Chins and pretty much everybody helping me out, getting me right every day and holding me accountable every single play. Not letting me lapse back into bad habits or being complacent. I give a lot of credit to them. Almost all of it, but I truly work my hardest as I can every single day, and I do. It's I don't really like talking about myself, but I feel like I've done a good job as a player, getting better and progressing.
All right. Thank you, Garrett. Thanks, everyone. We will talk to you after practice tomorrow with a couple coaches and a couple players. Thanks.